Okay, so this is another quick shout out to the Growing Pro and testing out some new equipment that I've gotten based on Coach Hargain's recommendations. So, just a little bit about me for background is I'm not trying to learn videos or video production for making money on here. I'm not intending to be a content creator, but rather content sharer. I work in commercial real estate, would buy and sell very large commercial real estate, primarily shopping centers, and so that's why I do this. Just so you kind of, if nothing else, personal brand recognition, if you will. And so I post it mostly on Twitter and sometimes on LinkedIn. So that's my purpose. So Coach Hargain's with the Growing Pro has done a great, his growing channel about, the kind of all things, the intersection of, cameras, video equipment, lighting, and audio. Kind of that's how I describe it. And I love the picture quality is really, a lot of ones I've seen on YouTube, everything's like so slick. And one of the things I like about his one, it's a little bit more kind of natural, if you will, kind of that hole in the wall diner that's really got some killer food and killer ambiance. And I really like that about his channel. And unfortunately, I'm doing this in kind of the around, a little before lunchtime. So I don't have the same lighting background and kind of doing this more of a brighter video than I would try to do, because more mimicking his. But this is using some of the equipment that I've bought. So this is filming on the SLR Magic 25 millimeter 0.95 aperture lens on my Lumix G9 Mark II. And I have the Neewer MS60 light, with cob light, as well as the 35-inch softbox with grid, which I really like it. Highly recommend it. Watch his videos for that. So what I got this time is, and I know I'm not going to be a candidate now to win one of the the Beachtech Maxes that he's doing as part of his kind of giveaway, but I did buy the DXA Micro Pro Plus, kind of learning it, figuring out the best way to hook it up to my camera. And so you're listening to it right now. Some of the other equipment purchases that I've made is I did buy the Audio-Technica AT897, which it's obvious looking at this, I'm not using that right now. I will say my general thoughts on it are I need to put sound treatment up. I think this is generally true of most shotgun microphones indoors, from what I've seen, from what I've read about on other channels or watched on other channels. So in general, I like the sound, but I need there's too much. It seems too tinny or too thin or something like that. Probably for me, and I think some degree it may be because of how the walls and all that here. I could need to go down to my downstairs studio, my basement, which is much more not treated, but it's just much more carpeted. This is my kind of home office up here, which is completely untreated. So it'll be the verdict's out on that. My wife bought me some acoustic treatments over there for my birthday last week. Happy belated birthday for those of you who want to wish me. But apparently she hasn't gotten around to hanging it up, and apparently maybe I'm going to have to hang it up, but then I'll mess up her walls and she'll be mad. So I'm letting her do it. See, this is smart. It's part of my all-inclusive birthday gift. So I'm using the Shure SM58, which is more of a stage mic. I looked at this. I bought this about a year ago. I was looking at the Shure SM57, which is kind of that traditional pod mic, not pod mic, but podcaster or vlog or whatever thing that you see on all these, a lot of the podcasts or whatever. In general, I found the Shure SM58 sound, for my ears, nearly identical for $100 versus $400 or $500. I am fortunate I'm not under particular budget limitations, but the same thing with the camera. I know Coach has used the H5 very successfully, and I think particularly with the SLR Magic, which is a manual focus lens, I think works perfectly. Just candidly looking, I'd used a G7, which is obviously didn't have any of the power of the GH5, but I did use that earlier in this year, and I think the picture quality is great, but the manual focus with the DFD autofocus is just kind of sucks. And since I was buying a camera and starting from zero base of cameras, I decided, well, since we had the phase detection with the G9 Mark II as well as the GH7, that I would just go this route. I do have the G9 Mark II. I think for those of you who are looking for a hybrid camera, I think is a good choice. I'm sort of had that somewhat buyer's remorse. I did not get the GH7, but just at the end of the day, the reason why I didn't buy it was it had more features for cinematography that I don't need. This is about as cinematography as I'm going to probably get. So this is one of the things, even if you're not budgetary constrained, is not buying more than you need. That's just kind of a waste. And that was the same thing, I think, with this, with the microphones. But I'm very curious to try out the Audio-Technica or really get that set up. I sort of don't like this too much in my face. I guess I could hold it kind of, but it's kind of weird. I have used the other microphones, the Holly Landmark M2, as well as the DJI Mic 2. I think the coach used maybe the DJI Mic Mini in one of those. I think it's very good. I think one of the things I would say to anybody that's looking into audio, it's amazing that some things just sound better on certain people. For example, I bought the Rode Wireless Pro, and I know this is going beyond the context of what the coach is saying, but kind of my, as somebody that's a dedicated student giving my own feedback, is I bought the Rode Wireless Pro, and I think in all the ones I heard from others that I was watching some of these videos, I thought sound the best. On my own voice, I wasn't really as enamored with it. It wasn't bad. It just didn't kind of have that, extra premium price versus the Holly Landmark M2 or the DJI Mic 2, which I bought on kind of pre-owned or whatever on Amazon, or somebody like me that buys it and turns it back. I didn't think there was that much of an extra difference given the pricing thing, and there's no reason to pay for extra than you need, especially if you're not getting what you want. So my general thoughts, kind of like with following a lot of the advice, I would highly encourage everybody to watch that, watch the Growing Pro. Also, test things out. I mean, and I think, Coach Hargains would say that the same thing is it's about testing, finding out what works for you, not blindly following what somebody else is doing, even though they, it's like for his cases, he's had many, many years of professional audio engineering. So I suspect he's getting a lot more out of his Beachtech than I am, although I am going to probably ping him and ask him what's the best settings. I did do some AI research to try to figure out what the best way, in my camera and this to really get the best sound. Again, on the Shure SM58, I think it sounds, very good. I have a Vocaster 2, which is, kind of a newer unit, but more for podcasting, kind of on your computer, but it has a output for 3.5 to get to the camera. Sounds pretty good. I was kind of like debating which one do I like better, and it really was a push. This one's, the Beachtech is much more solid. Like if you're saying what weighs like an A, like if you're turning in a paper, to school, like what weighs, like putting all sound aside, the Beachtech feels more solid, feels more, feels more like the A+. I'd say in terms of sound, I thought the Vocaster is very good. It certainly has some other features that are good, but it also required a separate power bank, which I have here on my desk, to charge it and keep it going. Where it's just nice that the Beachtech has its own built-in power. And I guess it works for 8 to 10 hours or so, which should be enough. Highly encourage anybody, if you're buying a camera, get some extra batteries. I first got this camera, and it's good, battery life. You can go, hour and a half, something like that. But I bought a couple of newer batteries for like $30, and just kind of rotate them, and it works perfect. You don't have any, constraints. So this is my quick thoughts. I know it seems maybe more rambling, but just kind of an update as of December 14th. This is actually my late mother's birthday. So shout out to her. Happy belated birthday. Which she's passed away now 9 years ago. But you kind of quick video on, my thoughts having watched The Growing Pro and continue to watch it. Highly encourage you to subscribe. I know he's trying to get to 1,000, subscribers. If there's anything I can do, which is probably not much since most of my content is outside of YouTube sphere, but I give highest recommendations. Thanks.